Oh, you're being ridiculous. He's a professional football player.
No, look, I'm not talking about killing the guy. I'm just talking about going up there with a group of dudes and intimidate him. Maybe break his arm.
You can't break Tom Brady's arm.
Oh, yes, I can. No more Super Bowls for that pretty boy.
Listen.
Robert better not get in my face, because I'll drop that mother.
What did you say? What the f did you just say?
Bomberowski to the near side.
What are you, a fucking lunatic?
You and your mom are hillbillies. This is a house of learned doctors.
I respect him as a coach, but I'll be damned if I allow someone to,
But I'm gonna kick you repeatedly in the balls.
You got long balls, man. Long balls. You got long-ass balls.
You can't pick
What
off.
should I not You know exactly what you've done, sir.
That's bullshit. I'll say it again. It's bullshit.
Nah, I'm just pissed off.
Let me tell you something with absolute honesty and concern for your well-being. Tom Brady would kick your ass.
You know, I was rude and inappropriate, and, I just want to say I apologize.
I'm sorry that anybody could be offended by something that we were just having fun with, and I enjoyed it, and we're going to continue to do it.
And welcome to another week of the Wiki Williams Trilogy. I am here with the other half of the trilogy, John B. Eazy Durnell.
Well, a trilogy means that there would be three. I mean, I'm on the other half right now because the Moose is late. That's why I'm the other half.
We're more like an acute angle right now instead of a triangle.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. We're missing a full side,
which is very important. But
well, he's up there in the Northeast being shady, and the Northeast is constantly being shady because just today we found out a Boston Red Sox, World Series champion, is about to get hit with an 80-game suspension for performance-enhancing drugs. And there's no Moose to even defend this. This is another scandal with Boston.
You know what? I'll try to defend this, but I can't. He's a knuckleball thrower. What are you doing using PEDs, son? Okay?
Right. Your ball's just supposed to dance around. You're supposed to have dancing balls. They ain't got to be fast. They just got to dance.
And we all know that a knuckleball thrower they don't have the longevity of another pitcher. I mean, you're just kind of like out there knuckleball. You know what I mean? They don't last as long. You gotta have another pitch, man.
Well, I mean, let's be honest with you. A knuckleball only lasts maybe 2 seasons before it just doesn't work anymore. Like, it's such a niche thing to have as a knuckleball. Like, you could throw a knuckleball well for a full year, and then the next 2 years you're throwing it, and that sucker doesn't move. It doesn't make a lot of sense. It's like a really weird pitch, but especially for consistency.
And it's extremely hard to throw too, since you're wrapping your whole entire knuckles around the ball. And like you said, maybe 2 seasons. It's a niche. It's a very niche pitch. If somebody could do it consistently, then that would be amazing. But they just can't because something happens, man. It's like losing a little edge off your fastball, or your curveball doesn't just dive as it used to, you know? So, but yeah, man, well, Boston's crooked again, man. I mean, how many more suspensions? You had Edelman last year, PEDs. Is he using
I know. I know, dude. They might be the same dude. The same dude might be feeding all of Boston all of their PEDs. I wouldn't be surprised, man. I mean, if we find a Celtic like Hayward, like maybe he's on some PEDs because he just broke his ankle and now he's out there doing fine. If we find out that he's doing them, then you know that there's a drug dealer up in Boston that's supplying all the professional athletes with their performance-enhancing drugs.
Exactly. I mean, you just had this Kraft scandal last week, and now
I know.
then people forgetting about that. Now you're World Series champions. Now I got to question the title because, of course, was he dirty when he was playing last year? I mean, he's using them. I mean, it's just spring training, dude. I mean,
this is just spring training.
I mean, the pitchers and catchers were just invited the other day. It's like they're just like practicing, man. They're stretching. All they do is stretching, man. Get out there and like take a few bumps every now and then. But no, man, we're not even taking the gloves off yet. And this guy's already got suspended, man.
Yeah, it's pretty bad for Boston. I mean, it just shows that there is some shadiness probably throughout the team. But you know what? There's shadiness throughout all of baseball. I'm still surprised that they're doing any kind of drug testing, especially because this sport had people like Barry Bonds, Mark McGwire, Sammy Sosa. I mean, the list goes on and on of people who doubled, maybe even tripled in size while playing the game, and yet now they seem to care.
Barry Bonds tripled the size of his head, which was still amazing to me. I remember watching him as a Pirate.
Dude, I saw Rookie of the Year last night, dude. I was watching that game, and it has him as a Pirate, all small and shit.
Did you watch Rookie of the Year on Hulu, man? Is that where you watched it?
No, actually, I didn't. I watched it on a different streaming service. But is it on Hulu? Is it on Hulu?
I actually saw it the other day. I was actually thinking about watching it. Yeah, it's really amazing. Yeah, it's like Rookie of the Year. Is that the picture, right? He his little arm goes like this and snatch back and pew.
Yeah, dude, throwing 101 miles per hour, dude, as a 12-year-old.
Yeah, which is totally impossible because, I like how he's like, he gets his arm all messed up somehow, just rubber bands. Come on. I mean,
hey, well, whatever, dude. I mean, well, he hurts himself later and he loses it. It's it shows the fleetingness. It's like the same idea as what was that Like Mike movie with Bow Wow, where he found Jordan shoes and was able to start dunking on people. It's just like it's that fantasy movie that they do all the time for children, where it's like, what if a kid could play with the pros?
Which is more believable, the movie about him owning the Twins or him becoming a pitcher?
A kid owning a baseball team is definitely more believable than a kid playing on a baseball team at that age. I could definitely see some really ridiculous elite billionaire giving his grandson or his great nephew a baseball team just because the kid was like, I like baseball. It's like, well, the team is yours, buddy. Team is yours. Now he probably doesn't know he's going to have a heart attack the next week, but but it's still the same idea. That's a lot more believable than a kid playing. I don't care what he did to his arm. There's no way.
I mean, you can't get deer antler for that. I mean, that ain't gonna happen.
No, but it's a fun movie, man. Love the movie in every way. I mean, you can't hate a movie that's. I mean, it's almost perfect in a way, man. It's a sports movie where you got a kid who has a single mom who's a powerful mother who's actually the real reason why he is a pitcher, not the fake story of his father. And then the dude who's his father figure happens to be a major league pitcher, while the other guy who's supposed to be his father figure is this manager who's trying to sell him to this Yankee. I mean, it's just perfect, dude. It's just.
Was it Busey in there?
Yeah, Busey was the Rocket, dude.
Yeah, he was the Rocket, man.
It's one of his few movies where he is an endearing person. There's not a lot of those for him.
I may call that, so that's awesome.
I wonder how much cocaine he did in front of the children on set.
Whoa, man. Don't shatter my image of Gary Busey.
Don't act like that man hadn't done blow.
Don't shatter my whole wholesome image of Gary Busey just yelling at shit, being all crazy as hell, dude. Love that guy, man. I can't say a bad word about him. Point Break, great career, man.
Oh, no, he's had a great career. I mean, and very long lasting. But we got too far off topic here. We were really just talking about the steroid use and how Barry Bonds was so small in Rookie of the Year. Now, and then it'd be funny if they showed Rookie of the Year 2 and he played for the Giants and he'd be 5 times the size, and they'd be like, look, here's all you need to know. Exhibit A and Exhibit B.
Exhibit A, Exhibit B. We all knew he was juicing, but man, he could hit those home runs. He's still not the home run king to me. It'll always be him.
Look, I don't care how many steroids you take, you still got to hit the ball. I mean, the man had good, eye coordination. He hit the ball and he hit it well. Granted, I mean, I think the only reason he really started taking steroids was because baseball was not recognizing his greatness. At the time where he was doing so great, he was being overshadowed by Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa and the likes, where they're like, oh, man, well, this is what we want to see in baseball. We want to see more home runs. And he's like, man, I'm an easy 30 for 30, man. I'm stealing 30 bases. I'm hitting 30 home runs.
He was a Hall of Famer before anyway. Well, before he took the steroids.
He was going to the Hall of Fame then. Now, I don't know if he'll ever make it in.
He'll make it eventually. I think I think that they'll punish them for a little while, but
Look, they haven't let Shoeless Joe in.
oh, dude, don't get me started up with Pete, man. I mean, come on.
I think there's some people that are just destined to never get in, man, and it sucks. I mean, you do something great for a long period of time, and that's what you're known for, and you're one of the best. You know, you can go anywhere in probably any baseball stadium and mention the name Barry Bonds, and everybody knows exactly who you're talking about. You know, so I don't understand how he can't make it into the Hall of Fame just because he did something wrong, like some performance-enhancing drugs, like all the people of Boston apparently do.
Yeah, all the people of Boston. I mean, you got Edelman. I think we should test Tom Brady right now.
We might as well just test every athlete in Boston. We'll just go that route. But there's going to be new athletes in Boston, man, because, you know, they're going to have some new NFL players. They have a lot of draft picks coming up, and a lot of them have been running around in their underwear as we speak.
It's not going on. Oh, but before we get going on the underwear Olympics, one more thing. Bryce Harper is now a Philadelphia Philly for.
That is true. Wow, what a waste of money that was, right? I mean,
what a waste, dude.
Well, here's what's really funny, dude, is that he's already about to get fined, I think, because he's been talking directly to Mike Trout, being like, hey, Mike Trout, at the end of your contract, come up to Philly and play with me. And he's like, we got this winning culture here, blah, blah, blah. I was like, homie, how do you know there's a winning culture? Y'all haven't even played one regular season game yet. Like, y'all might not have any kind of real winning culture. You might not win any games this season. I mean, you got to win some. It's baseball. But you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know there's going to be a winning culture, Bryce Harper. You're recruiting people on that idea, and you haven't done anything yet. Like,
when's the last time the Phillies won the World Series?
Dude, man, Chase Utley was still playing. You know what I'm saying?
Utley, dude.
Howard was still playing. Literally none of the people from their World Series championship are playing baseball anymore. Heck, I think even some of them have been inducted into the Hall of Fame by now. Like, that's how long ago that's been. It was like 2006, I think, was when they won their World Series, man. That was a long time ago.
Man, that was when I was still in college, man. Wasted my time, man. So that's a long time ago.
It's been a while since the Phillies have won a World Series, man. So I don't know why Bryce Harper thinks just the presence of him batting .270 and hitting 25 home runs is going to change the culture up there. You are a regular-ass baseball player. You ain't changing the culture with regular-ass numbers, man. You ain't nothing special unless you start doing some steroids. Maybe then. Maybe that'll help him out.
We always coach steroids use as the Moose is joining us, and he loves those steroids, don't you? Everybody should be juicing shit, name Moose.
Well, who knows? Who knows what Moose is trying to say, because Moose hasn't turned on his audio yet. I'm glad he's present, but he needs to work on his audio. You know, but either way, man, Bryce Harper, he's talking big game, and I think they're allowing him to talk big game because, you know, he's like the biggest name in baseball right now because he's willing to go out there and actually talk to the media and be absurd. You know, he's absolutely ridiculous every time he talks to the media about things, and I think that's what they like about him. You know, Mike Trout keeps it really by the book. You know, your Manny Machado shows that he doesn't care about the sport. He's just a naturally talented dude that keeps hitting home runs. So they don't like that because it doesn't show hard work and hustle. You know, that's not the cornerstones of baseball. So Bryce Harper is basically the best they got, and he ain't even all that good. You know, I'm really excited to see what's going to happen when Mike Trout hits the market because, again, if a team is willing to pay $330 million for 13 years of a mediocre baseball player, I don't know what they're going to do for the best baseball player that's ever played the game in the 2000s, dude. I mean, I don't think I can think of another player that has been just that good all around and consistently. I mean, the only things that have been stopping Mike Trout have been injuries, man. That's it.
Oh, so, man, yeah, I got to say Trout is a better player than Harper, straight up.
No, easily, dude. I mean, because if you're giving him 13 years at $330 million, you have to give Mike Trout, like, what, 10 years and maybe 450? I mean, he's so much better than him. He's so much better than him. So it's not even close, dude. Like, they're literally paying Bryce Harper for what he did 4 years ago. You can't do that. That's dumb. That's a waste of money. He hasn't been good for 3 years. So you're basically telling me you're paying him for what he did 4 years ago? That's stupid. You can tell me all you want that he is now in the prime of his career. He should have been close to the prime the last 2 years. So why did he give you stinky turd number?
And now he's acting like he's LeBron. Now he wants to act like he's calling his shots.
He does act like he's LeBron now of baseball. And it's like there is no LeBron for baseball because there's no baseball player that can completely change the team. They've proven it many times that you can have a great baseball player and still have a shitty team. You know, you need to have more than just one good player in baseball. You can have one good player in basketball, and that can change a lot of things because there's only 5 people on the court, you know?
And as much as the NBA is watered down now, and there's no defenses, LeBron doesn't even like to stick a hand in people's faces.
No, dude, there's actually some footage recently that was going around, some trolling footage of Kuzma pushing LeBron James into playing defense. He literally pushed LeBron towards the defender he was supposed to be defending against.
And let's see if Moose, are you with us? Yeah, well, I
guess it's the Moose's first time using his computer. I feel like he's had it week in and week out, but he's having some struggles over there. Well, I'll tell you one guy who might be struggling to get the #1 pick might be Kyler Murray, everybody. Kyler Murray is being slighted right now. They're trying to say that he has poor work ethic after what he had shown at the Combine. I don't even know if he was even there. But one guy interviewed him for 5 seconds and comes back with the idea that he has poor work ethic and is spreading it like wildfire.
Well, not even that. I mean, did you hear about the guy that got a question if he had 2 testicles?
Yeah, I did hear that too. So I don't understand what's going on and why this journalism is allowed to just be absolutely ridiculous in every way. Like, who's allowed to ask someone about their groinal region unless, like, you know, LeBron James's sore groin or something like that? You know, like we're getting into, you know, the idea that Kyler Murray is getting cheated out of money at this point. And it's not even like the same money that you would get if you were Sam Bradford. You know what I'm saying? Like, to be the #1 pick in the NFL isn't as great as it used to be. When you were in the years of Sam Bradford, you could be the #1 pick and ask for like $65 million to play for 2 years. They don't do that anymore, you know? So now.
Yeah, man, Sam Bradford's still getting paid, son.
Well, I know he's still getting paid. And
somebody's going to call him up, dude. Next year, Bradford's back. He's going to be out there, man.
Well, he'll probably be like a backup maybe in like Jacksonville or something like that, or – you know, he might be behind Foles. Maybe they'll put him in somewhere like, I don't know if they'll keep him in Arizona because they got to do something, man. Because they have now, I mean, Josh Rosen is gone. There's no way you should keep him. I don't know why you picked him in the first place.
I don't believe in this Kyler Murray hype because I
don't believe in the Kyler Murray hype either. But I sure as hell don't believe in Josh Rosen.
Oh, hell no.
I'd rather go with the hype. Maybe you'll get some new ticket sales because everybody from last year knows Rosen is garbage.
But I'm saying is like anybody can't play behind the offensive line. And also, too, I don't believe he's 5'10". I think.
Well, we know he's not 5'10".
There could have been a little bit like stretching.
He said 5'10" and 3/4, which I'm like, where did the 3/4 come from if he was barely reaching 5'8"?
And also, too, if he doesn't get measured on his pro day outside the combine, that's shady.
Yeah, I know. What's up there, Moose? Moose is finally here.
What's up, you shady fuckers?
Nothing, man. You know, we were just discussing right now the Kyler Murray situation now that they're trying to slight the man so that he might not be the #1 overall pick.
Didn't he weigh in at the combine for like? Didn't he weigh in at like 207? I heard that kid was like 175 pounds coming out of college.
Yeah, I heard he was 180 and 5'8". Somehow he's 5'10" and 3/4 and over 200 pounds.
Oh no, he's all muscle.
Well, he seems like a muscular man, so he must have had a big old meal and didn't take no doo-doos for a couple of days to be weighing in at 207 when he used to be 180. That's a lot of weight to hide.
That's a lot of weight to put on between a short amount of time. I'm just saying that's
what I'm saying. He went to some buffets with like the country buffet.
Old country buffet, man.
Got himself some gravy and hunkered down.
Some meatloaf.
That's right, meatloaf and gravy.
Man,
and putting his face in the fondue chocolate or whatever they got over there.
I'll tell you what though. I give the kid that kid's spunky, dude. Turning down an MLB contract like that. I know I think the pros for the NFL still outweigh it. Like he's guaranteed a spot. Like we talked about.
Well, I think we talked about it before. Is that like when you go to the pros, you're guaranteed as far as the NFL, you're guaranteed being recognized as like a household name, especially if you're a first round pick. You know, you immediately become a name versus if you are, you know, a later pick in MLB, you're probably going to have to go through college, go through the farm system. It's going to take a while before you can be a name. Whereas Kyler Murray, we're already talking about the boy right now.
Oh, and we're going to have to talk about the chump until the day he plays, man. It was the same thing with Baker. Baker was our boy last year. Like I can't, don't get me wrong. I can't wait to see this kid play. And if he turns an organization like Arizona around, I'm all for it. I'm there because screw the NFC West, bro.
I got a question though. Will, are you believing this hype, dude? I'm sorry, but it's like
no. I mean, I don't generally.
Well, why do you not believe the hype, man? There was all this hype about Baker Mayfield. He produced. He's coming out of the same school.
See, that's what. No, that's what I'm saying is like I don't believe the hype until I see it. Like last year, I think I took Baker Mayfield. Like I took the hype there just because he ran from the cops and got absolutely slaughtered against a concrete block. And it was glorious. It was something we really needed in the sport. So do I believe in the hype? Yes and no. I mean, if he's a first pick overall, I mean, people say nowadays, you know, the NFL draft doesn't matter as much as something like the NBA or the NHL. But if you get a first pick and he turns out to be good, I mean, real good, can run your team, you know, if he turns out to be that type of person, which he can because it's the number one overall pick, then yeah, I'll believe the hype here and there. Yeah, I don't believe it until I see it. But
the interviews, man, like I say, to me, sometimes the draft is a crapshoot, man. You don't know who you're gonna get. Shit. I mean, how many years ago, if you said Tom Brady was gonna be the greatest quarterback ever, 5th round pick?
Get out of my face.
Yeah, never. Like, I mean, how many people have we seen? We've seen Tim Couch. Remember the hype of Tim Couch?
Well, dude, there was hype on what, Ryan Leaf.
I mean,
there's been a lot of hype, man. And you know what? A lot of times it's just, I feel like some money's being passed around. Some people are being told things. People believe in what they're being told. There's a lot of shenanigans, I think, that happens with these picks, man. Like, especially like your first, like 15. Like there's a lot of weirdness going on. Like even today, you'll see like someone who's supposed to be a top pick already being interviewed and shown as if they've already been picked. It's like, man, they still got to do something.
Do you remember the kid from last year who 10 minutes before the draft, he posted a video of himself on Twitter with the bong mask? Do you guys remember that?
Oh yeah, dude. And no, but I don't think he posted that. I think it had been posted a while ago, and then somebody found it and then brought it out so that he could get paid less money and slight him. Like,
where's he now though? That's the question. Like he was out of Ole Miss.
I think he went to Dallas, but I can't remember what happened after that. Like I think he got drafted by Dallas. I want to say he got picked up by the Cowboys.
Cowboys,
they like that, those scandals.
They love those scandals down there. Big D, man. Jerry loves that, man.
Yeah, he likes the scandals when they come in the door versus hiding the scandals like they do in Boston until it's too late.
Boston, that's right. But I don't know. To me, it's just like this hype until it gets on the field, prove it. Because when you got like, you know, 12, 11 grown men rushing at you, they're going to hit you hard. A lot of people.
If there's 12 men, that's a penalty.
Oh, I'm sorry, 12 men. I'm just a little.
The 12th man on the field is a 5-yard flag.
I'm just saying that because we never know until they actually get out there. We don't know.
It's true, man. It's true. But like I don't understand why people are giving him such a hard time when he I can understand a lot of times giving these players a hard time, but you're talking about this guy just won the Heisman from the same university as the last Heisman winner, kind of running the same style, roughly about the same size. He's just a little smaller, apparently. I mean, I don't know why you would think immediately he can't at least produce close to the same as a Baker Mayfield. I mean, I know it's not the same person, but if he's coming out of the same schemes going into the NFL, I think he has a pretty good chance of getting it together.
One of the things that came out of the interview, which I found funny, was somebody got hit in the chest, and they said your chest is soft. And I remember watching Coach Vrabel from the Titans talking about how poor the interview was, and it was him and John Robinson talking for my Tennessee Titans. And Vrabel actually said something about hitting people in the chest. So I wonder if that was Mike Vrabel doing that, because I could see him doing that.
Yeah, maybe he was trying to get the kid mad, though. Maybe he wants to see a little fire in his eyes.
Hey, man, that's the Patriot way, man. You know, let's get some fire. Let's see what you're going. You're soft, man. So I thought that was funny, too. The testicle thing was over the line. How can you ask a grown man if he has 2 testicles? Does that
well, you shouldn't be asking anybody about their testicles regardless. You know, I don't care. You're not going to – it's not an interview situation. I don't care how long you've been a reporter. You don't get to ask people about testicles. You know?
That's sexual harassment in the workplace. You just can't go up to somebody.
It's true, man. It's true.
You have 2 testicles because this could affect your job. What do you mean it could affect my job?
How does that affect your job? Lance Armstrong had 1 ball.
Dude, but to be honest, I think most of these questions are all mental evaluations, though. There's no way you can be serious about that.
But there's no way you need to do that anymore. I understand when Branch Rickey did that with Jackie Robinson, brought him into the room and said every off-color thing you could say about a brown person because he knew that kind of stuff was going to be said to him. No one's going to be asking this man about his testicles on the sidelines. That's not happening. All right? So I don't understand why that needs to be brought up.
Maybe a couple ladies in the stands, but that's probably about it, right, fellas?
Then I should hope he's ready for the situation if that does come up. You know, but other than that,
young Buck better put his game face on that kid.
Exactly, dude. Be ready. Be game ready at all times.
I recall when Des Bryant was asked if his mother was a prostitute.
Yeah, dude. Again, things that were not necessary, dude. So what if his mama was a prostitute? That happened before he was born, okay? Probably. And if she was still prostituting, what does
wait a minute. Wait. So you are, in fact, reporting that his mother was a prostitute? Then?
No, dude. I'm not reporting that his mother was a prostitute. But even if she was, what does that matter? That's not something that should affect if he's a good NFL football player. You know, that's something that his mother was doing that he really didn't have any right to say. Did any of you have the right to tell your mama what she could and couldn't do as you were growing up? I sure as hell didn't have the right to tell my mama what she could and couldn't do. If my mama was going to go out at night one night, and if I was like a 6-year-old being like, "Mama, you can't go out tonight," I probably got slapped, and then she still went out. You know, what do you mean? So what does it matter, you know?
What does it matter if that's the only way she can make a living?
Oh, maybe it just shows resiliency within the bloodline. I don't know.
No, but they were trying to slight him for it. They weren't trying to see if he was resilient, if he was able to, focus under adversity. They were like, well, if your mama's a hoe, then you a hoe on the field. That's basically what they were trying to do to him. And that made no sense.
No sense. Over the line.
Sometimes he is being a little bit of a hoe on the field, though.
Well, he was definitely that way when he was, released and behaving very inappropriately. But they went and got Amari Cooper, so everything's fine in Cowboys town.
Hell yeah. What would you be worried about now?
Speaking of another diva, Antonio Brown is still out there, guys.
Yeah, dude. Raiders are talking about getting him since they got rid of Cooper.
Heating up, guys. It is heating up, dude. I've seen the Titans in the mix too. You better be freaking amped, kid.
I don't know, man.
Of course the Titans would be in the mix, man, but they don't have as much to deal out.
That's the thing, though, man. We want to make smart choices here. We don't want to overpay for the guy.
Literally, getting Antonio Brown on your team is the smartest decision that Tennessee has made in years if they do so.
Hey, we remember we got Randy Moss for 6 games. That was awesome. I almost got myself a Moss jersey.
Oh, you should still, dude.
I love that guy, dude, because, you know, he was out there just running routes, man. It was awesome, but he was still the best damn thing happened to us in years.
No, dude, he definitely was, man. And if you guys can pick up Antonio Brown, that'll change the culture immensely.
I mean, is it because I don't understand the Raiders had a damn good receiver with Cooper. So why are you going to get rid of Cooper and then bring in another diva? But I think I don't understand. It's like, Gruden, what are you doing over here?
Well, I'll give you the lowdown. Ready? So this is going to be their 3-year plan as they bring in Antonio Brown. I mean, they're going to give him some years, right? 3 or 4 at least. Like,
well,
are you going to?
Of course they're going to give him
right?
3.
So they do that, right? So they give him, we'll say 3 to 6 because who knows? He's Antonio Brown. He'd bring a lot of popularity to the Raiders organization.
But
again.
one thing though, man, he is 31.
He is 31, yeah, but that boy can ball. Let's not slight him. I get it, but he's going to get at least, I'd say, a 3 to 5 year deal at least.
Yeah, he'll get a 3-year deal because they'll keep him till at least he's 34. LeBron James' age, even though he's
fuck him
falling apart.
HR $1 in the tip jar. Sorry.
I know, dude. That was a very quick one, man. You're not even trying today, man.
Because, dude, I'm so sick of his shit. But we'll get to that in a little bit of NBA talk later because I just can't deal with him anymore.
Did you hear that, Jonathan? No hesitation, man.
Yeah, there was no hesitation. He didn't even slow down and think about it for a half second.
That's hatred. That's
I
awesome.
thought about it quite more than 1.5 seconds in my lifetime. I'll tell you that. Everywhere I go. Everywhere I go, dude, I gotta hear about this guy.
But listen, Antonio Brown, I just don't want to overpay for him. But now you got.
What would you consider overpaying for him?
Dude, you guys
I'll give him a first round. I'll
You
give a first round pick for him, I guess, because we're desperately needed a wide receiver. But I don't want to pay like a first round and a second round and some shit like that.
Well,
you wouldn't give up a 1 and a 2 for him?
I could say a 1 and a 4. I'd say a
1 and a 4. I'll do that. Yeah,
1 and 4.
But not like it because you got a lot of good players in the second round, man. You get like a lot of your bulky good players in the second and third round. First round is kind of a crapshoot, but as the Patriots have demonstrated, you get your core players in the second, third, fourth, and fifth round. Those are the guys that really want to make the team because they ain't getting paid crap and they're trying to get that first contract.
Yeah, so. I can see that, man. I mean, that makes a lot of sense. I would definitely see him going to the Raiders before the Titans just because of there's nothing in Oakland / Las Vegas now. There's no number one person, so it's all going to him. He knows that.
Here's the thing, though. It's like, I don't know, because this Gruden, I still think Gruden wants Kylie. I don't know if Josh Rosen's gone. Who knows with this? Because
I'm pretty convinced that the Cardinals are going to take him with the number 1 now.
They'd be foolish not to, man. I mean, like they finally got a chance to get a quarterback because they already failed last year. You can't tell me that was a good idea, Josh Rosen.
No, and the other thing too is with Kingsbury coming in, dude, he's a college coach. That's what he's been doing. So obviously he's gonna look at Kyler Murray and say, all right, this I can work with in my first year at least. He doesn't know what the fuck he's gonna. Sorry, damn it. He doesn't know what he's gonna do with Josh Rosen. He doesn't know. Do you know? Does anybody know?
No, there's nothing you can do with him. He's just a quarterback, but he's not good enough to be an elite quarterback. He's literally just a guy who's thrown the ball for most of his life, but there's nothing special about him at all. There's not a thing about him at all that's special. He might as well just be just any quarterback over the years that comes into the NFL and goes immediately. He's just as good as all of them, but he's never going to be a name. He's never going to the Hall of Fame. Hell, the only way he's getting to the Hall of Fame is if he's driving a bus there. That's it.
Damn. That is cold, but I'm just saying 1 year, you gotta give a guy.
Oh, definitely give him a chance somewhere else because it's not going to happen in Arizona. I'm telling you.
But sometimes you don't need to give somebody another chance. Maybe give him a chance in the AAF or something like that. I almost said the AFF. I don't know what that is, but
dude, there's a lot of interest in Josh Rosen around the league right now, though.
But I don't see why. He must have a good agent
because we haven't seen.
There's nothing. No, there's plenty to see, man. A bunch of interceptions and not getting the ball to the best hands in the NFL. That's all I needed to see.
That's true, man. Larry Fitzgerald is I would take Larry Fitzgerald right
Those
now.
are the best
easily. I would make him the Patriots' highest paid wide receiver right now, without a doubt.
If you can't have the best hands
talk about Danny Amendola coming back, fuck out of here.
With that. yeah. That's
all right.
foolish.
I owe $3. Just keep my tab. I owe $3 right now.
It'll probably be more than 3 when we come back from our break here. But you've been listening to the Ricky Williams trilogy. Moose owes the jar $3 for now. We'll be back after a short break.
Thank you, Ray. No, I tell you, I'm all right now, but last week I was in rough shape, you know? I mean, last week my wife, she signed me up for a bridge club. I jump off next Tuesday. I mean, last week was rough. Are you kidding? Last week I looked up my family tree. 2 dogs were using it. I tell you, I can't relax, you know? Well, the other night I was in a place I felt like having a few drinks. I went over to the bartender. I said, surprise me. He showed me a naked picture of my wife. Are you kidding? My wife, there's always something. Her father just died. She had his body frozen. Every time I take a snack, he falls out of the refrigerator. I mean, my wife can't do nothing right. Well, last week she cracked up the car. She went into a tree. She said it wasn't her fault. She blew the horn. Well, what a driver she is. Over the dashboard, there's a pair of shoes hanging. They belong to the last guy she hit. Are you kidding? Oh, one night she went out, some guy stole the car. I said to her, just see what he looked like. She told me she got the license plate number. I don't know. I tell you what, me, nothing comes easy. Well, last week I went to the track. They showed off the opening gun. They killed my horse. Now, last week I got stuck, too. I bought a new book, 100 Ways to Make Love. I ended up in Traction. It was a misprint. I never had any luck with girls anyway. I know I'm ugly. I went to a freak show. They let me in for nothing. My wife, she don't go for me either. And when she gave birth, I asked if I should be in a room with her. She said, what for? When I got pregnant, you wanted a room with me. I tell you, since I'm a kid, women always gave me a hard time. My mother never breastfed me. She told me she liked me as a friend. I mean, are you kidding? Oh, my mother had morning sickness after I was born. I tell you, when I was a kid, I got no respect at all. You kidding? No respect from anybody. You kidding? The time I was lost on the beach and a cop had me look for my parents. I said to the cop, you think we'll find them? He said, I don't know, kid, there's so many places they could hide. My old man, he didn't help either. The time I was kidnapped, they sent back a piece of my finger. He said he wanted more proof. Hey, when I was a kid, I went through plenty. Well, my uncle's dying wish, he wanted me on his lap. He was in the electric chair. Well, it's the same thing today, no respect. Well, last week I was going to jump out my window. They called a priest to talk to me. He said, on your mark.
And welcome back to the second half of our show. We are here with the Moose officially. How you doing, buddy?
Hanging in there, boy.
Hey, man, I'm glad to hear that, man. I'm sure those pennants are just too heavy for your shoulders, man. And on the other side, who doesn't have a pennant this year is going to be LeBron James. And our boy who lives in L.A., Jonathan, Be Easy, the comedian. He follows the Lakers. He's our inside man to the Lakers. How do you feel about LeBron now, buddy?
Well, I feel LeBron is about to take off the postseason months and work on filming Space Jam 2. That's all I've been posting about on our Instagram, and I might do it until the movie comes out because you know what? That's all he came out here to do. He's doing albums with 2 Chainz, a.k.a. Pity Boy. Do you not know that?
No, dude. How many athletes – can you not see how many athletes it was a bad idea to make music? Deion Sanders, Shaquille.
Wait, didn't Le'Veon Bell come out with a song or Antonio Brown, the one of them?
Dude, I think Damian Lillard comes out with an album every year, but like a lot of athletes are being rappers right now, and LeBron
dude,
is
stick to your day job, dude.
That they really probably should. But LeBron is now doing something with 2 Chainz. He's also making Space Jam 2. He's also doing some documentary thing. He's also doing his Shop TV show. The man don't give a damn about basketball no more. He's just increasing the brand LeBron James so that he can eventually buy a team. I mean, I don't know which team he's going to buy. It'll probably be like, gosh, who's at the tank? Oh, man, the Phoenix Suns. Maybe he'll own the Phoenix Suns. But, again, dude, I don't know what LeBron is trying to do out here as far as basketball. I do know that he's going to overtake Michael Jordan for the 4th highest scoring of all time. And I don't think that should happen, especially since the Lakers don't win games.
Doesn't count.
Asterisk.
Doesn't count.
Yeah, it really shouldn't, man.
No,
I mean,
all points void if you don't make the playoffs with your team. I'm sorry. That's ridiculous. Any record he holds with a losing season doesn't count.
They really should, man. He's supposed to be a superstar. A superstar can at least get the team to the postseason. I mean, Charles Barkley always got teams to the postseason. Did he win them? No, but he got his team there. Patrick Ewing always got his team to at least the postseason. It just shows you that the East is so easy in comparison to the West.
And that's the elephant in the room that LeBron does not want to address. He chose the easy way. And every year in the East, you had no teams to really challenge you. Half the league makes the playoffs. I mean, you can almost have
you could have an under 500 record and get it in the East, but not in the West.
No. And so he goes west to where actually real teams play. And now you miss the playoffs because, the Pelicans beat you.
Dude, that's the least of their worries. They've been beaten by the Grizzlies. They've been beaten by the Suns, who were already eliminated from playoff contention.
They have 14 wins. They lost to a team that this far in the season has 14 wins.
Actually, they had 13. The 14th was them.
It's
but
ridiculous.
Yes.
How do you show up to you? I mean, don't even let me go off on the Suns, whether it's management or not. 14 games? You can't show up for more than 14 games. Are you kidding me? What are you doing?
Well, but the thing is, LeBron James can't show up to beat that team. You know, because LeBron, if you notice this year, LeBron James is just making sure he gets his numbers. He's not doing anything exceptional. You know, he's not putting together a 50-point game where he just takes over. He ain't doing that. He's making sure he gets exactly his average of about 25, 26 a game. He'll make sure he gets 9 rebounds and 8 assists, but he doesn't look like he's trying to do anything. He's just going through the motions, making sure he gets his numbers.
Feels like Kyrie Irving learned a lot from him. Honestly.
Why did he apologize? That's my thing, Kylie. Why the hell did you apologize
for
yourself?
Well, he was apologizing to LeBron because he left LeBron talking about, I don't want to be with you anymore because I don't want to be second fiddle to you. But it's understandable. It made sense. I know why he left.
Yeah, but he can't do it. He's too young to lead a team like that. I've been watching the Celtics all year, dude. It's been embarrassing.
Well, it's not that. He doesn't want to mix with the team. He doesn't want to gel with the team. Like there's.
Well, I'll be fair. In the last week, and I know last night was a huge win, 28 points over Golden State at Oracle Arena. That's huge. That's a huge win. But also the Warriors, I think, have lost like 5 games at home over 20 points, so it's not really that big of a deal. But what I've seen in the last week has been a little bit different from the rest of the season. Everyone's smiling a little bit more. I mean, you look at Jaylen Brown on the sidelines, and he's not smiling nearly ever. He is always upset. Somebody makes a big play, he's the last one to get up off the seat. And I haven't seen any excitement from the Celtics all year long. And Kyrie Irving certainly has learned a lot after what I'm seeing from LeBron right now.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. He doesn't relate well with the youngsters, and I think that's a problem. LeBron doesn't relate well with the youngsters on his team. Like earlier this year, they were talking to LeBron, and they're like, hey, how do you feel about playing with these new cats? And he's all like, hey, it's great. They like a lot of the same stuff my kids like. You see how yeah, dude, like you're already separating yourself from them, being like, yo, I'm a seasoned veteran and these just some boys that I got to, carry around with me, And that's ridiculous, dude. Like, you need to respect them as if they are your co-workers, because that's what they are.
Toss him under the bus. That's all he does. That's all he's ever done his entire career. He's just tossed people under the bus.
Exactly. I mean, that's why Kyrie, they're talking about Kyrie might join up with him back in LA. Kyrie's never going to join up with him again, because when things are going good, it's all LeBron James. When things are going bad, he throws everybody else under the bus.
No, and now Kyrie and KD are like buddies, best friends, and everyone thinks they're going to go to the Knicks. The both of them have the same mindset. Like, everyone owes them something for being in their city, right? So, like, they don't say that. Well, KD does. He's very, very opinionated when it comes to his self-value and his freaking ego. And Kyrie is similar. But do they think they're going to survive in New York playing for the Knicks? If you're on a losing team in New York, it sucks. I can tell you what, Rangers games, there's more fans getting mad at the Garden than there are happy. It's been that way for years.
Yeah, but they're just going to build a super team. I mean, KD, Kylie, get somebody else up there. You can easily build that team up, man. 2 or 3 good, strong players.
I think KD's going to come to Boston.
Oh, dude, KD wants to go to New York, dude.
I don't think so. I don't think so, dude. I don't think they're ready for New York, dude. Because they're not, dude. You got to understand, the Knicks run their organization like shit, and they have for years. They're the worst team in the East, if I remember correctly. I think they might even have less wins than the Suns. Like, you're in New York, it's big time. But they're only going to get them two. They're not going to build a super team past them two.
All I'm saying is that I think KD wants to take that mantle from LeBron because he's tired of even seeing LeBron's crap.
Oh, yeah, he's not teaming up with LeBron.
No, but
one wants to team up with LeBron, but
he wants to because he's going to take his own team and go to build his own little super team because he wants to be better than LeBron, and that's the way you do it now. 2 or 3 good players in the NBA, the East especially. That would turn into a playoff team at least.
Well, that's the difference between the NBA and all these other leagues that we're paying attention to, right? Is that one player can make a team. The sad part right now
is
funny.
We were literally talking about that earlier, that one person can change the whole aspect of an NBA.
But then what is LeBron doing? He already said
he's going through his numbers,
dude,
man.
He already
but
told.
I have to leave, gentlemen. I'm sorry I have to
all
do
good.
But
all
it was
good.
wonderful bitching with all of you about the good stuff in the sports world. But continue talking shit about LeBron.
Johnny, what do you got? Your show tonight, kid?
No. But I wish I did. But there's other things happen.
Hey, man.
In the world, miss,
Hey, man. Taxes, man. I get it.
Yeah, it's of course the taxes. I ain't paying those. I'm black. All right. I'll see you guys later.
See you, kid. Oh, man. Duke, well, I got to tell you, man, I don't watch much NBA, right?
Yeah, why? I mean, why would we? Because, like, we only watch the finals.
No, I can't. Yeah. Like, I'll watch playoffs for sure. I'll watch almost all the playoffs. But, like, through the season, dude, it's like these players, they just piss me off. Like Adam Silver said, today, he's talked to a lot of the players, and they're all unhappy. And Charles Barkley came on. Did you hear him? You hear Charles? Well, he said, and I wish I had, the right to play the audio clip. We don't right now. We're working on getting that. But basically what he said is that is the stupidest thing I have ever heard a commissioner say. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard Adam Silver say.
Oh, dude.
And he said these players are making, and now this is the confusion between generations. I think sometimes is that money doesn't make happiness. And Charles Barkley, just missed the gate of the large money that came into the NFL. And he said, these guys are making $20, $30, $40 million a year. I don't get what they're complaining for. How are these guys unhappy?
Okay, and oh, dude, that's just, don't get me started on Adam Silver. He is the weakest commissioner I think I've ever seen in the whole history of all sports, because he wants to please LeBron. When he calls up and says, "Hey, LeBron, man, I need to get your advice, or I need a permission. Can I do this? Can I say this? Because I know without you, I'm nobody." And that's it. I mean, one man runs this. It's LeBron James.
Yeah, and you're exactly right too. But regarding what an NBA analyst is saying about the commissioner, could you ever picture like Rich Eisen saying something about like Goodell like that? Could you imagine, Tony Romo ever saying something about Goodell like that, they're out of a job immediately. So
It depends on how they say it. And Charles just went way. I mean, Charles works for TNT, so he has more freedom. And he's Charles Barkley, so he can say anything he wants, and people love it. And I love it too because he speaks the truth.
fair enough.
But man, he's right, dude. These kids are soft. It's like, why are you going to the commissioner when you're making how much $3 million a year and saying I'm unhappy? Why are you unhappy? Because you went one and done, and now you got to like actually work for your job, and we can't babysit you all the time. I mean, that's why I don't watch the NBA much no more. They just taken away everything that used to make it great.
Yeah, and I have to agree. And I also have to say, like, I mean, I'm not saying I'm no slouch, right? I make a fair amount of money. But there probably isn't a problem in my life that wouldn't be solved with it. Like if I had $20 extra million, me and my family would be set. We'd be good. Like I could take care of my parents. I could take care of my brother and sister. I could take care of me. I could take care of a lot of people.
Your grandkids would be taken care of pretty much if you did it right.
Oh yeah, if you're not Shaquille O'Neal in it when you sign your contract immediately. Good thing he's smartened up.
I mean, you got five. I mean, because you could easily build trust. You get interest in the stock market. I just don't understand how these kids are still complaining because.
I mean, it's especially maddening because Kyrie, this is exactly the team he wanted. This is who he wanted on the Celtics, and he's still complaining. All season long, I've heard nothing but complaints from him. I mean, like I said, I only watch so much, but I listen to nothing but sports radio in New England, and nobody can stand him. Everybody knows we need him, but nobody can stand the kid because he's always complaining about something, and he's picked that up off of people like KD and LeBron. I mean, who else is he going to pick it up from?
See, here's the thing. LeBron was always talking crap about the NFL. It's like because LeBron is an actual team sport. I mean, you act like no player runs the NFL. That's for sure. The NFL is run by Goodell. You got the owners, then you got the players. The way it should be. I mean, players have more rights than anything now, and it's great, good for them. But when you're letting people, your employees, run over management, you got a problem. And that's what the NBA has right now. Your employees are just taking over everything, and now they're unhappy because what are you going to do? You bend over backwards every single time they say something to you. How can I make you feel more happier? How can I do this? And Adam Silver, he just doesn't even look like a commissioner. He just looks like he's scared up there every time he goes up there. It's like, why, dude? I mean, I wasn't no fan of Stern, but I mean, goodness, I'm no fan of Goodell, but at least I respect those guys. I can't respect Adam Silver. He just bends over backward way too much. He's scared. He's afraid to lose his job, and when a man is afraid,
He should be scared because the players are running the show now. It's a reality show with a couple of games thrown in. It really is, dude. I mean, it's comical. It's comical the shit I have to listen to. You can't get the Celtics together, and they're blaming it on Brad Stevens and Danny Ainge. I understand Brad Stevens; he's never dealt with talent like this, but like you got to figure it out, dude. You got to figure. You have a superstar on your team. If you're not winning with a superstar, you're not going to win anywhere.
Anywhere. I agree with that, man. I agree with that. Speaking of, man, there's some superstars out there on the free agent market. Le'Veon Bell is still out there. There's pretty interest. Well, we can't even know until the official start of the season, which is next week, or that first day when they can have free agent signings. Le'Veon Bell is one of the most interesting. Your boy Flowers got released from the Patriots.
He did. Well, we didn't franchise tag him, so I think it's going to be like a Dante Hightower situation where we're like, yeah, go ahead, go check the market. If you come back with 14.5, we'll give it to you. But if they really plan, if the Dolphins really plan on giving him $17 million, I don't see how that's going to work. I don't want him for $17 million. I'm sorry, but the way our defense doesn't run like that, we don't need guys with sacks. If you look at his numbers, there's not a large amount of sacks. He's not a guy that we try to free up and run around, their left tackle all game. That's not how it works. He's not just let go so that our run stopping game can be shit. I think we'll figure it out. I really wish we were able to keep, Trent Brown. It's an unfortunate loss. I think he'll get paid elsewhere. I think he did great most of the year, past the half. Beginning of the season, he was just getting used to it here, I think. And I think he took a sweet time. So I'm okay with that. Trey Flowers will definitely be a miss. I really wish we could keep him, but if he's getting offered 17, man, good for you. Go get paid. You've done your job here. Go get paid and join Miami, which is where I think Le'Veon will end up.
Miami's still going to be a dumpster fire. That's the thing. They got to change the culture in Miami. They got the new they have the new head coach coming in, and now we're going to be doing overpaying players again. I mean, I just don't think Flowers is worth $17 million, man.
I don't either, but the market says that he is, and you understand that as well as I do.
I understand that, man, but the market goes to two separates the winners from the losers. I mean, what did the Rams do last year? They went out and got every single free agent they could. We're going to get a Super Bowl. Oh, wait, no, you're not. Sorry about that, because McVay, he couldn't coach his way out of a handbag during the Super Bowl. So I just don't.
Jared Goff couldn't call an audible if they even let him.
Because Jared Goff got figured out. He wasn't that great of a quarterback. Because how can you not let your quarterback call audibles, son? That's one thing I just don't understand. Like, you just don't trust your QB. But so you say that Le'Veon's going to be joining Miami? Is that where you think he's going to end up?
Yeah, I think he enjoys it too much down there. At this point, I mean, and people will tell you you're wrong, right? But at this point, it's pretty much not about the football. If the man wanted to play football, he would have. Obviously, Pittsburgh's a mess. I'm not putting anything past that. And I think it all has to do with Tomlin, but I also think he's an effing dirtbag. So,
I mean, Tomlin's he's been around for a while, and I think I understand. The Pittsburgh Steelers. In my lifetime, they've only had 3 coaches.
They've had 5 coaches since the start.
Yeah, which is just amazing.
It's the reason they have 6 Super Bowls.
I understand, but they've just had such a good. They've had such good luck with drafting, building team. Actually, I believe something like some Steeler fan told me, as if I recall, that they're the only team to ever have the draft class to win a Super Bowl. I mean, they were drafting Hall of Famers back in the 70s, so they just built a culture of winning. But now that the old days are over, man. You got rid of two of the best players, AB and Le'Veon. And you know who the problem is, man? Big Ben. He's the problem.
You think so?
He's got that radio show. You want to talk about LeBron throwing people under the bus? Big Ben does that more than anybody. Tom Brady may give you a talking to, but he ain't going to go in public and just crap on you.
No, he'll do it in the game.
Yeah, he'll do it in the game. That's one thing. But he ain't going on radio saying, yeah, he missed his route. He totally misrun his route. That's his fault. He lost the game for us. That's what Big Ben does, and that's not a leader. That's somebody you're splitting the locker room down, man. Because you're saying, hey, you're a crap player, but AB's what made you look good, Big Ben, because you're getting old there, buddy, and you only got 1 ring, and which let's just be honest, that Super Bowl was rigged.
Against the Seahawks?
Yeah, when his helmet doesn't even cross the goal line, and they call it a touchdown, and the ball's like right here, and his helmet doesn't even cross it. That was just I could not believe that Super Bowl. I mean,
man, I think. But here's my thing: is like I already don't like Big Ben. Already not a fan at all. Antonio Brown. And honestly, most of the wide receivers nowadays are absolute drama queens. What Big Ben has said off the field is ridiculous, and what Antonio Brown has said off the field is ridiculous. Between the two of them, it's a comedy show, dude. Antonio Brown now has a blonde mustache, and what I'm sorry. You can do what you want. You can do what you want. I really don't care. But like, what are you doing, dude? Like, what are you? What is going on in your head right now that the Steelers have done to you? I mean, first Le'Veon Bell, now AB, and then what's going to happen next? Big Ben going to throw a fit?
I mean, what's you gonna get rid of Juju Smith? I mean,
they can't. They can't.
I mean, it's just I don't know. It's just there's a cancer in the Steelers organization. And I think it begins with Big Ben. He's getting older. He's getting like grumpy old man. His time is running out for a Super Bowl. Yeah, I'm sorry, Big Ben. You're not Tom Brady. Okay, there's only one Tom Brady, and he has 6 rings now. You only got 1 because the NFL wanted to give it to you because they felt bad for the Steelers. It's like I just don't understand how you can let some top talent like that just leave. And I mean, like you said with the Divas, Odell Beckham is going to be traded. There's rumors of him being traded. The Giants,
those have been going on for what, a year and a half now?
I think they're going to pull the trigger, man. Also too, they let go of Collins, man. One of the best safeties in the league.
Well, they were trying to trade him at the deadline, and they were apparently getting first round draft picks offered to them, but I think they were looking for something else. I'm not quite sure.
That's ridiculous, dude. That's one of your best safeties in the league.
Well, he's going to get paid. There's no doubt about that.
I'll take him in a heartbeat. But I mean, we already got a safety set. He's gonna get paid. I just see how can the Giants be running a franchise when you let your best safety go, when defense wins championships. You got Odell Beckham over here being overpaid for being a wide receiver, and yet you still letting Eli throw that ball when he needs to just say goodbye, y'all. It's been fun. And then you're going to waste Barkley's talent. I mean, you got one of the best running backs in the league. Giants are just a dumpster fire right now. I don't know how they're going to recover.
Well, they're not going to recover this year. They're going to get some high draft picks for 2020. And who knows, dude? I mean, the Cleveland Browns could end up picking up Odell. You know what I mean? It could happen. And if it does, because he's played with Landry before at LSU, I know that Odell Beckham has spoke on that. He's been asked about it. And he said it would be crazy. It would be awesome. And I've already called them as NFC North champs. If they get Odell, that's game over. Or they're not going to know who to use because they're going to have so many valuable options. I mean, they're letting go of Duke Johnson. I mean, he played great for him last year back at running back. So we'll see. The Giants are a mess. Until they draft another quarterback, they're done.
It's the holding on to the past. I know Eli got you 2 rings, okay? And I'd argue with you that those are the luckiest Super Bowls ever. Ever.
Absolute BS, man.
That ball on that man's helmet was ridiculous. If for them to beat him the second time, that was just amazing. It's just
that was twisting the knife in the spine for us up here, man. I'll tell you.
Oh, whatever, man.
I have nightmares about those nights, man.
Yeah, and those other 6 Super Bowls don't keep you warm at night. until we can stop talking about how great the Steelers are and how great they their legacy and everything. So at least you can hold on to that. I just don't see this, man. It's like, why aren't more teams following the Patriots' way of not overpaying players, of building up your players from nothing and getting your teams, your best players from the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th round? Belichick is always trading down. He wants like, gimme. You guys got 12 picks this year. Yeah. And it's like, I just don't understand why aren't people copying this, because they believe the hype. I don't believe in Kyler Murray. I'm sorry. People are crapping on my quarterback, but he's still winning. But yeah, they're going to act like Kyler Murray is going to be the next Drew Brees. It's like, if that was going to be, man, we'd have more teams competing, man. But QBs are hard to find. Like they just don't grow. They just don't grow on trees, man. You know how many before Baker Mayfield? We'd had like 16 QBs for the Browns, and then I was like, that's hype. Yeah, I think it was like 30 something actually. But I just want to be kind to the Browns, you know. But it's just amazing. That's all. The Carmine, I just don't believe in the hype. Like you said, Josh Rosen last year, he said he was going to get more rings than Brady. It's like, well, you got to have an offensive line.
Well, that kid dug his own grave, to be honest with you. I mean, I think if he shut his mouth and didn't say a word and just played football, that a lot more people probably wouldn't be so dismissive of him. But what he said all season long was just ridiculousness. I mean, the Arizona Cardinals, for all intents and purposes, in the last, I'd say 10 years, they've been a fairly good team year in and year out. I mean, I know they had the Carson Palmer years with Larry Fitzgerald weren't awful. There were a couple of years where the beginning of every season after week 4, it was Cardinals are going to make the playoffs and they're going to go far, and they never do. But
they played in a hard division when the Seahawks was at the heyday of Legion of Boom. That just never felt like Bruce Arians was there, got them back to starter, but I just don't see how. I mean, they just never really got the weapons together. Carson Palmer, Larry Fitzgerald, a great QB, wide receiver combination, but they just never really gelled together. You know what I mean? But they were consistently there. And then Bruce Arians is gone, and bam, they just go to complete crap. Just like that. It's like, damn. I mean, that's kind of ownership thing too. Management, and you got your GMs. It really falls on that, man. It just shows how hard it really is to build a great football team, especially a playoff.
What we're doing is unprecedented. I mean, you come into – I mean, Tom Brady was a 6th-round draft pick. It doesn't happen often where that type of guy ends up being possibly the greatest football player to ever play. Definitely the best quarterback to ever play. It's not even a question anymore. I don't care what anybody says. You can go by era if you want. You can go by era. Sure, you got Joe Montana, Troy Aikman, and then Otto Graham, dude. I mean, you go all the way back to, if you want to go greatest player of all time, you say Jim Thorpe. He might be the greatest athlete of all time. And you're right, it doesn't happen often. You can't build a team overnight. For us, it just so happened to be that. But, I mean, you got to remember, between 2004 and 2014, we didn't win a championship in 10 years. And we had a lot of great players. We had Wes Welker. We had Randy Moss, and the list goes on. And obviously we still did, the Patriot way of next man up back then. But obviously it's not going to happen for all these teams. One thing I did want to mention, I feel bad for that kid, Cody Parker. The kicker from Chicago that lost them the, playoffs. It is a tough loss. And the Bears, held the tryout at Hallis Hall today. And as of 1 hour ago, Adam Schefter and Brad Biggs apparently are the sources that they signed another kicker, Duke. And I want you to take a guess at what his last name might be, because you're never going to believe it. Do you want to take a guess, or do you want me to just tell you? Because you're never going to guess. He's a former Pittsburgh player. His name is Chris Blewett. B-L-E-W, Blue, I-T-T, Blewett. Blewett. You want a guy with the last name Blewett kicking for your team? Well, watch them make the playoffs, guaranteed. Game-losing kick. I'm putting money in right now. Chris Blewett. Are you kidding me? Chris Blewett.
Oh man. Speaking of too, man, some news. Looks like Tom Brady and the Patriots are close to an extension.
Hell yeah, man. Give him 5 years. I don't give a shit. Give that man the boat. Give that man the boat. Take the boat, Robert Kraft, and unload it onto Tom Brady's driveway and pay that man for the next 5 years. I don't care what it takes.
I don't know, man. Like, I think that you do need, I don't know about the extension. I just think that you just need to pay him because he's been underpaid for so many years. So just go ahead and give him some guaranteed money and maybe just a couple more years and give him like $60 million guarantee because that man deserves it. If these other guys
I'm not going to argue that.
If these other guys are getting paid like $80 million guarantee and stuff for doing nothing, you need to go ahead and just pay that man. Or name the stadium after him. I don't know. You need to do something for Tom Brady.
It's going to be all off the cap.
Yeah.
That's how it always is, man. That's how it – don't get twisted. Tom Brady's got a good what, $22 million a year, something like that, right?
Yeah, something like that.
He's definitely making money elsewhere. I can guarantee you that. But no, I'm glad. Obviously, people in New England love to hear that. What is he going to do? Look for other options? Get the hell out of here, dude.
I was joking today about how he had finished his career in like a Jaguars uniform just because Belichick out of spite. You ain't playing no more. You're gone. We're cutting you. Ha ha ha. I get the last laugh because I'm Bill Belichick.
Well,
yeah.
Speaking of Jacksonville, Nick Foles is most certainly going there.
Oh, for sure. And I love it. My defense.
Because if I'm not wrong, I'm pretty sure they released. Did they cut Blake Bortles?
They have not yet. I don't know.
Well, they're gonna.
Let's look it up, man. I know that if they do, they would save a crap ton. Wow. Your Patriots Wire says, should the Patriots take a chance on Blake Bortles?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. You know why? Because when he retires, he can retire in Boston. He can become part of the union, and he can just work construction and smoke cigs all day like he wants to. Kidding me? Bring him on. Go ahead. I just saw that too. Patriots YA USA today. Why would we do that? Because I heard we're actually in the draft. We're interested in Will Grier, who is the West Virginia University grad. Apparently he's supposed to be a pro-style quarterback. I don't really know what that means unless you're in the pros. No, of course I know what it means, but we picked up Danny Etling out of the draft last year, and he was on a parade float. So I don't think we're just going to let go of him just yet. Maybe let him develop another year or two, see how he does. And obviously he can learn other guys like Hoyer and Brady who know the system very well. So
Hoyle, dude, deserves a medal for what he did for you guys, man.
I would trust that guy.
He's not a bad
I would trust
QB.
that guy. No, no, but he knows our systems, and he's a good guy, whatever.
But that's the thing. I've always argued. It's like when people crap on my quarterback, it's like he's a winner because, man, if you put him up there with Bill Belichick, oh, dude, he'll be looking like a champion stud, dude, with that offensive coordinator. Because you guys actually say, hey, let's go ahead and design an offense and plays around our talent instead of trying to fit a square in a peg hole. You know, it's like, why, dude? Why do they do that? They ruin so many good QBs like that. But like I said, yeah, it'd be funny if you guys get Blake Bortles. I'd laugh. I'd be like,
I'd buy a jersey right away.
Oh, straight up, dude.
There's no doubt. Number 5, Bortles. Are you kidding me?
Wait, Hoyer's number 5, isn't he? I recall.
I thought he was 3. No, he's not 3.
I feel like
that might be Gostkowski. I really don't know. I don't know. But would we take a chance on him? I would guarantee almost no. Hoyer's number 2.
Hoyer's number 2. I mean, that's the thing. Hoyer is. Here's the thing about backup QBs. They are so important. They get you a starting QB ready. They're basically a coach. They got the clipboard. They're out there communicating with the coach, reading off defensive plays, communicating with the starter. Every time you see the starter come sit down, that backup QB has to be there to help him out. Reading the plays, what do you see? All these. And I don't think Blake can do that, man. Hoyer's great at it. But Blake, come on. I just don't see it, man. Unless you guys just throw him out there during garbage time and let him get his stats.
Yeah, I mean, Hoyer's a great consultant off the field, and he's obviously a pretty good quarterback. I mean, he's survived this long in the league, and I don't think anybody has anything really terrible to say about him as a backup. As a starter, yeah, he's had his flukes for sure. But by the way, Danny Etling is number 5, and I thought that. Hoyer's number 2. Didn't I say number 2? You're all confused me now. Anyways, I don't see us making a move for a quarterback this draft. I think we're gonna load up on a tight end or two. I can guarantee you, because this draft is loaded with tight ends. So hopefully we get something going in the motion there. Have Gronkowski for one more year, and we get somebody behind them to learn a little bit.
Just let that man go, dude. Just let him go. He's too messed up, man. He may not be able to walk one day. Just let him go. Go on.
He knows. He knows the consequences, so he's got to weigh in the good and the bad. We'll see.
I mean, he's had 2 back surgeries, man. I mean, and when I hear people going under the knife for back surgery, that don't fix it. You just put
not at that young, man. That's young. I mean, most people don't get back surgery until they're in their like 60s.
Yeah, and that's
or 50.
That's too damn young for a Gronk. But you know, the draft is loaded. I mean, like I said, we're talking about Kylie Murray. I just think that what if this is true? What if he just totally bombed the meetings? I mean, that's what I'm asking. It's like Jonathan wanted to play the race card on it, but what if he just realized that, oh yeah, I'm going to Arizona, so it doesn't matter. I'm going to bomb every meeting. You know what I mean? Like, what if Arizona's already said, hey, we got a first round pick, don't worry. And he just went in there and bombed every single other interview because he's like, this is wasting my time.
I mean, he very well could have. The kid doesn't seem like he has that type of characteristic. From what I've read and seen, it seems like the kid's pretty grounded. So I don't think he should go and playing nonsense. But I know where you're coming from is not, oh, he's a black quarterback that might be number one. He's going to be shit. I get it. Like he's obviously smaller than Baker Mayfield, and Baker Mayfield certainly was smaller than the rest of his competition as far as QB potential draft picks go. But so I get it. I mean, yeah, we don't know until he hits the field. We don't know. I mean, if he goes to the Cardinals, I can guarantee you he'll have a better year there than he will anywhere else because Kingsbury just came from college. He knows how the system works and he can work with it.
I totally understand. I just hate this whole Kingsbury thing because he got fired at Texas Tech to go to USC for a day, accept the offensive coordinator job. Then somehow, because he had a drink with Sean McVay, now he's got a head coaching job. This whole thing bothers me when we got these coaches. He's going to be the next great thing. He's going to create something different. He's changing the game. But what did we see in the Super Bowl? Defense.
I mean, I'm not saying he's changing the game though.
Oh, but you listen to all these talking heads on the radio. That's all they say. It'll change the game. With McVay last year.
No. What my thing is that do you think Kingsbury knows what he's going to do with Josh Rosen in that offense?
I don't think Kingsbury knows who he is or what he's going to do. He got fired from Texas Tech, dude. He didn't.
Sure. I mean, yeah, that's a valid point. But don't you think he has a better, just a better outlook on what his offense could look like if he had Kyler Murray and not Josh Rosen? I mean, Josh Rosen is a pro-style quarterback if there is one. He's quick, but he's not Kyler Murray athletic or quick. So what you're saying is Kyler Murray goes number one. It doesn't work out for the Cardinals.
I don't think so. I think he'll just be there to buy
in the first year or like the first 3 years or like what?
You just
don't think
3 years. I don't think it's just going to work.
Who goes first, Murray or Kingsbury?
Oh, Murray will. Oh no, Kingsbury because because the Cardinals were invested in the number one draft pick, and also too, he's a likable guy, so he's going to put he's going to put butts in their seats, man. He's going to sell tickets, and that's the thing is like you pick your number one quarterback because you believe in him. Because then what they can do then is just bring another college guy and say, hey, make it work. But I just don't see it working out. I really don't. I just don't believe in Kingsbury as this whole, well, he's a college. It's like he does this, he does that. It's like, okay, let's see how many good college coaches actually make it pros. To be given a head coaching job just immediately like that, yeah, he was a QB for the Patriots. Okay, how long did that last? Like a season? Was he even on the practice squad? I mean, like, did he back up Brady? We don't know. I just don't believe in it just because it's so hard. I see a lot of problems with the Cardinals right now, and I would say the best bet would be to just trade down and get as many number one picks as you can, and as many picks and just build that team up. You know, maybe shoot for another quarterback in 2020, but build him up, man. Let somebody else overpay for Kylie, you know, and deal with that, because you guys are a dumpster fire right now. And here's the thing: it's like, yeah, he's a Heisman Trophy winner. But college is so different. You know what I mean? Like, college is like, yeah, these are grown ass men out there playing. Like,
Yeah, and you have some kids coming out of Wyoming that are getting picked in the first round. Do you think any of their teammates from Wyoming even got drafted?
Exactly.
No. I don't know for sure if any of Josh Allen's teammates did or not. If they did, excuse me, but they certainly weren't in the first round. And if they were, again, excuse me, I only watched the first 12 picks because I'm a normal human being. And then I just wait for the rest of the results to come out on Twitter as they do. But
I always finished the first round. That's
yeah,
it.
you're right. I always watch the first round.
Oh, and then maybe do
first 12 picks, I'm very attentive. The last 12, like, you could be cooking while you're doing the draft, though. You know what I mean? Because every pick is, 5 minutes? Right? 10 minutes? What do they have? Some ridiculous amount of time.
Oh, yeah. The first round is like 10 to 15 minutes, I believe. And then after that,
Yeah, you're right.
They go down to
It's
5
crazy
minutes.
long. Yeah, it's crazy long. Like, I wish it was like fantasy draft. Like, you got a minute and a half, kid. Wake up. Who's your next pick? No, but the first 10 picks, I mean, what they're saying, even what they're talking about on the TV gets you going, because it's exciting, dude. It's the only part of our game where it's completely off the field, but it's like, it's that enticing. Like, you have to watch it to have to know shit, obviously. Especially like the first 10 picks for me are like, all right, that's it. And then I'll cook some food while I'm watching the rest of it, because I don't need to watch 10 minutes to see, the Ravens take their pick, although they took a quarterback this year, which was weird.
Was it the first 20 picks are the teams that did not make the playoffs? I believe, because my Titans are at 19 and we didn't make it. So I think it's 2020.
Eight teams make the playoffs. 8.
So
right? Wild card? Jeez, you got me all confused on our podcast now. Look at us.
Look at us, man. We're just falling apart over here. But I mean, yeah. So when you because you're watching the draft, those first 12 teams, they're crappy teams, and you're kind of like hoping, who are they going to build a dynasty? Who are they going to get? Or who are they going to build? Are they going to change things? It's not a good thing to be having the number 1 pick every single year. And I'm just afraid the Cardinals are going to be in the top 3 for a little while. It's like, sorry guys, but you got to build that team up. You get offensive line. I mean, you can put anybody back there, but if he can't stand up to throw the ball, then what's the point? Yeah, because they got Rosen couldn't do anything, and maybe use him. I mean, if you believe it, I don't know. I think you're right though. He's going to Arizona. Unless Gruden just craps out his 4 first-round picks. It'd be like,
hey, dude, they could sell that pick for Antonio Brown.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
What do they have? The 4 pick?
They got the
3 pick? God, I'm on.
They got I think they got the 3rd and 5th. They're close, man.
I could totally see him. I mean, do you think they would let up that big of a pick for Antonio Brown?
I don't know, man. I would like to see them. I would love to see him win the Titans, but I just don't want to overpay for him, man. I can see Gruden overpaying for somebody, but why would you get rid of Cooper when he was a top 5 receiver anyway to go after Antonio Brown? I just don't understand.
Well, their mistake was letting Khalil Mack go.
Oh, that was Gruden.
And he signed for a ton of money. That dude signed for a ton of money.
And he came out later and said that he was willing to stay for less money. Gruden goes in there and disrespects everybody. Because what is the first thing Gruden do? Get rid of one of the best punters in the league.
Becomes a hard ass. He was definitely a hard ass as soon as he walked in there.
Yeah, and those players are talking about how he's busting out film from the 1950s and 60s. Are you?
No, he was not.
That's what I heard, man. Some of the players were like, "Are we really watching?" He ain't even got the old timey projectors. John Gruden. It's like, okay, Gruden, you've been in the booth for 10 years now. It's the game's kind of changed. You got to relate to players now, buddy. This ain't. Oh, I'm sorry, Gruden, because you stole the Super Bowl from Tony Dungy because you adopted a Super Bowl team and beat your old team in the Super Bowl. Congratulations, Gruden. You are a hack.
True. Also, to clarify, they do have the number 4 pick, the number 27 pick, and the number 4 pick, 24 pick, and 27. 3 in the first round. So I could see them letting up like do you think the 4 pick would get Antonio Brown? Do you think the 24 pick would get Antonio Brown?
I think that's just too high. I think the 27th pick, but I think Gruden would trade his 4th and 24th to the Cardinals to get Kyler Murray.
To get Kyler Murray?
Kyler Murray, yeah, straight up.
Really?
I think Gruden's crazy like that. Like,
you know what though? I freaking love that. I absolutely. We need some of that crazy madness in our day and time, man.
Because I mean, Carr is gone. He is not gelling with Gruden. I think he's going to use him as trade bait.
How many years until Carr ends up in the AAF?
I like Carr, but
6 years.
He's going to be a backup for a while somewhere too.
He has to be, dude. Like, I don't see many people paying out the ass to when he hits free agency or what. They're going to end up trading him.
Oh, straight up.
They have to.
Somebody's going to overpay for him. Then somebody's going to get. I don't know, because they could trade him for a first-round pick. I mean, who's desperate enough who needs a quarterback? And Carr has proven to be a pretty steady quarterback. I mean, he just needs a good coach behind him, but. I mean, I could see somebody just giving them their first-round pick. So that would give the Raiders 4 first-round picks if that had happened. I mean, with the top 3 teams, somebody says, you know what? Instead of, like, taking a chance on a rookie, let's go ahead and try to build a team around Carr. I mean, was it the first 3 picks are the Cardinals?
The Cardinals, the Jets, and the Giants and the Jets, right? No, I'm sorry. Cardinals, 49ers, Jets, Raiders. Oh, well, okay. The Giants have the 6th pick. I was wrong. No, they have Jimmy G, man. What are you talking about? Yeah, he did. Yeah, so he's fine. He'll be back. I mean, I see the only 2 teams in the top 10 that are going to be taking, quarterbacks. It's going to be the Cardinals and the Giants. No, I mean maybe Denver picks up their quarterback of the future, maybe, but any other team either has a quarterback for the future or a quarterback for now. I mean, obviously the Jets aren't going to take a quarterback. There's nobody that's as valuable as as Sam Darnold. The 49ers, no, I just don't see it.
Let's say who needs a team and wants to trade up? That's the thing. I mean, who needs a QB? That's it.
I mean, the Bengals?
The Bengals, Carson Palmer is not the answer. That's a good one, man.
You mean Andy Dalton?
I'm sorry. Did I say Carson Palmer? Man, dude. It's been so long.
It was the first time I think we ever talked about him on our podcast earlier tonight, so I see where the confusion is. I mean, maybe Miami, but they have the 13th pick, so they're not going to trade up from the 13th pick.
I mean, but that would give Gruden 4. You get rid of Gruden comes in, says, I got Carr on the table. The Jaguars need a QB unless they bona fide with Foles.
No, they're getting Foles, guaranteed.
Broncos took care of their Flacco situation because they just want to be.
Well, they can still pick up a youngin though.
The Redskins and the Dolphins need QB.
The Redskins, I heard, are the biggest name in the Josh Rosen sweepstakes.
The Redskins, poor poor Redskins. You have two QBs who break their legs, like Joe Theismann broke his legs, and then I feel bad for them because they just seem to be crapping out. They're cursed. When they brought in those Native Americans to do the rituals or bless the team and bless the field, I think they actually cursed them. Did you hear about that? The Redskins had brought in the Native Americans to do some tribal rituals before the game and bring them good luck and everything. And they broke it. I think it was actually curses, not blessings for the Native Americans. Because Alex Smith breaks his leg the same exact day and basically on the same yard line as Joe Theismann. And then Colt McCoy goes down with a broken leg too. And Colt McCoy
is a curse. Yep, DC.
Everybody
that's running something in DC is probably a curse on you, aka the Illuminati.
I mean, yes. I mean, because you got Miami, who we went through the Tannehill years. That was awful. But they're not really that bad of a team. Miami's got a decent defense, and if you put Bell, then maybe Carr back there, that could be a dangerous team. I mean, if they want to go that high, 13th.
I mean, they're not going to get Bell though. They're going to get Brown.
Yeah, it's
Derek.
true.
I don't believe in Derek Carr. Sorry, nope.
No, I don't. I want to, but I just don't. Because you've had more weapons than my team has, and yet you still lose it. You know, but maybe that's just because of Gruden, or the broken fibula that messed with his head. I don't know, but something happened to that boy.
Well, what we can agree on is that the Raiders are a mess, and that is all. And that will include, ladies and gentlemen, another episode here with the Ricky Williams Trilogy.
Yes.
Follow us up on
before
what? Go ahead. What?
Before we go, man, we gotta mention our good guy of the week, man.
That's right. Go ahead. The top dog of the week, man.
Our top dog of the week. That's correct, because we still want to recognize the good people out there doing good things. This top dog of the week goes to Bill Belichick. Now people say Bill doesn't care. Bill does care. So what he did was he went to the combine, which, to scout his players. Rich Eisen's doing his run for the kids, St. Jude. And on live TV, Belichick just walks in and hands him a check. It says, "Good luck. This is for St. Jude's. You have a good day." It's pretty awesome. You don't see that side of Bill that much because he hates the media. And I believe this is one of his things he just doesn't want to do every week, to talk to the media. But I got to give it a deal for donating that money. Good for you, buddy. And showing that you care about the kids, for Rich Eisen. Rich run.
Yeah, good. Hey, good PR move, Billy. Good job, kid. We got enough problems every offseason. Good PR move.
A good PR move, and it would be cool to see Brady do it with him. But I guess because players can't really be talking to coaches right now either, because it's start the season. They're kind of in limbo and on vacation. We don't have no puppy dog of the week because I don't think anything really bad happened. But other than that, man, yes.
I got a puppy dog of the week. It's Antonio Brown.
Oh, okay.
Just that whole interview pissed me off with his blonde beard. His blonde mustache. I can't take you seriously, dude. Dye it back, please.
And he's getting I gotta say he's becoming like that because you gotta quit blaming the Steelers now, dude. Instead of move on. Stop going on LeBron's show talking crap, because you kind of start to look like the little man now. When it was the Steelers' fault.
We already know it's Big Ben. You don't have to tell us on national TV that it is.
Yeah, he wants to be vindicated, whatever. But it's looking bad. So quit being a puppy dog, Antonio. Go get paid. Go get your new team, and realize that maybe the grass is not green on the other side.
Might not be, son, unless he's getting that green. He's gonna be at some point. Well, that about wraps it up here, ladies and gents, from the East Coast and the West Coast, all the way to your pretty little hearts. This is the Ricky Williams Trilogy. Follow us on Facebook at the Ricky Williams Trilogy, also at Fumblerooski Sports. We're also on Instagram, Twitter. Get at us. Like, share, comment, tell us we're idiots. We love it all. We love it all, baby.
All comments are welcome. All criticism is welcome. Check out our Instagram account there. It's popping right now, man. We got that humming nicely. Please check out our web pages. We'll have more content coming this week. Me and BEs will be doing a show called Money Mouth about your gambling needs to fulfill that addiction for football season. March Madness coming up, so plenty of time to put your bets down, and we'll be giving our insights on that. So hopefully, with a BEs schedule, that will be here within the next couple of weeks. Some other shows will be in the works too. Fumblerooski is going to be big, so please jump on the bandwagon now.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. And y'all have a good night. I'll see you later, Moose. Till next week.
Go Pats.